I am so happy with how this looks for the Rangers. We have a pitcher, Jack Leiter, and he is a dude.
And while I do think his hitting is worse than Derek Jeter, it's not that far off.
You're not mentioning 2006. You can mention the other people, not 2006.
Oh, just because I bought the best soap doesn't mean your room's going to be clean. It just leaves it to where I don't believe that the Canadians had a shot.
I really don't like the Clippers just kind of sending it in when they're like,
Hi, this is Kelly Forbes with the Dallas Stars, and you're listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our XFL Opinions of the Week. We did USFL last year, and we're adding the XFL to our list of sports to cover. Might be a weekly thing, don't know yet. We're figuring it out. But I'm Kevin, and I am joined by the human stat sheet, Austin.
That's a good one. That's a good one. But the XFL is back after its 1 year absence because of COVID. But it was an interesting weekend. I enjoy watching it, but there were some crazy games that happened. I like the fact that it's a 4th and 15 from your 20 to get a first down to attempt to keep your drive alive instead of an onside kick. I like some of the rules. Now, I don't like that there's a 1 point, a 2 point, and a 3 point go for it, but I guess they just do that to make it interesting. And it was. It very much was.
Yes, the XFL, I forgot it was 1 year. It was during that COVID, and I think it had a pretty good start, but it's also under new ownership. Do you know how much The Rock bought for it?
I do not.
I believe it was around 15 million, which I think is a pretty good investment. And I believe there are some other owners, but I just know The Rock was mainly behind it. I'm trying to see how much they buy it for. I think someone also said, oh, Danny Garcia is also one of the owners, but I believe it was purchased for relatively cheap, and they were in collaboration with the NFL, so you could see some of the rules in the NFL from the XFL and the NFL. Because I do like that 4th and 15. I caught the end of the Seattle game versus DC, just because of Ben DiNucci. But I did hear about the St. Louis Battlehawks with AJ McCarron. It was like 15-3 with 2 minutes or less than 2 minutes to go.
Yes. And
No.
they scored a touchdown, went for 3, got to 15-12, and 4th and 15 went for it, and it ended up scoring a touchdown and winning the game. Crazy. And then the most dominant game, because all the games were close except for one. Every game was decided within 4 points except for the Houston Roughnecks versus the Orlando Guardians. That was a 33-12 shellacking. And Paxton Lynch is now the first person in the history of football to be benched in the NFL, CFL, USFL, and XFL after throwing some picks in this game. So it was a tough showing. The Roughnecks clearly seemed to be the best team. They were dominating. They were the only team that won their game and was really, really good while doing it. And it was mainly because their ability to run the ball at a good clip. They had 2 rushing touchdowns. Their running back can also receive very well. And they have some good wideouts, but they don't have the best wideouts. Like Josh Gordon is on the Seattle Seahawks or Seattle Sea Dragons. My bad.
That's
Sea Dragons. Close enough.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, and I was just double checking a few things. The Rock did buy it for 15 million, and there is an XFL NFL agreement. I'm reading an article from February 25th last year, which I think is a smart thing by the XFL because the
What
NFL,
is the agreement again?
So I believe it's not a feeder league, but it's a testing grounds for the NFL. So it allows the NFL to use the XFL as an avenue to test and develop new rules, innovations, ideas, and more. So it's kind of what's that spring league for the MLB? Um, isn't
Spring
that where
League?
they tested some of the rules they're implementing now? The spring league.
Oh yeah. It's like the rookie league, spring league. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So yeah, I think that's. I just know the main idea was the NFL is gonna influence some of the stuff that the XFL does and possibly see how it works. And then the NFL could adopt that point thing or the 4th and 15, which I know they were doing. You can challenge any play call,
Yes, you can.
which I heard someone challenged the defensive holding call.
I didn't watch all the games, so I didn't see that particularly, but it wouldn't surprise me if that happened.
But yeah, I think, and I do think with the XFL collaborating with the NFL, that kind of gives it an edge versus the USFL. But I was excited. I'm surprised they started a week after the Super Bowl. There was
I think
no,
that's the point because they don't want to directly compete with the USFL for the entirety of the time, and the USFL obviously starts April 15th. So I think they're trying to get majority done by then.
that's smart. But yeah, that's a crazy stat for Paxton Lynch getting benched.
In 4 different professional
Or
leagues.
wow, yeah. And then, but yeah, I thought it was really fun. I saw the Ben DiNucci game. It was interesting hearing like NFL guys, and then De'Aaron King, I believe, is the quarterback for one of the quarterbacks for DC.
It's not DC. It's oh maybe it is DC. Yeah, it is. But
Oh,
he only threw 2 passes. It's kind of crazy because that team only threw for 93 yards.
yeah. But it was. I know it was down to the wire. I know Seattle had a chance to tie it, but they couldn't. They just couldn't do it.
Yeah. But they also have, I mean, they had a guy with 12 receptions for 95 yards.
Wow.
They were feeding him.
Mhm.
Josh Gordon had 6 receptions for 74 yards and a touchdown. He played well.
Yeah, but I'll definitely. I just had a busy weekend. Maybe I'll watch a little bit more XFL this weekend. We'll see. There's actually a Thursday night game.
There is?
I believe so.
You're right. It's between the St. Louis Battlehawks and the Seattle Sea Dragons.
Oh yeah, I won't be able to watch that. But yeah, they're doing Thursday night, and it looks like I know they were on ESPN, so there's a lot of deals. So we'll see. I think you said it before. I think it did have a chance. It just COVID just messed it all up. Like they didn't. That was the onset of COVID, and no one knew how long it was going to be. So they folded it up. But I think it was a smart decision by The Rock to spend 15 million, which I'm sure he has plenty of money in case it goes down, but it seems like a smart investment.
I agree 100%.
And I do hope they adopt the 4th and 15. Um, just because I've said on the onside kick, I want like it should be able to convert.
Yeah. And maybe you go 4th and 20. Maybe you go from your 15 to the 35.
I'm
But
cool with that.
anything where the team actually has a chance, I'm okay with.
Yeah, but not like it under like 20%. I think for me.
Well, I mean, you have less than 20% chance to get 20 yards on one play. But the thing is that you decide your play. The other team has to make a play. And for an onside kick, it's not that hard to defend.
Yeah, especially since they made it to where safety wise, you can't bunch up.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how I feel about the extra point thing. I do kind of like the gambling, like you can go 1 point, 2 point, 3 points, and then you just go back by yardage. But we'll have to see. Anything else before we conclude this episode?
No, I'll probably check out one game this weekend.
Yeah, yeah, I would say check out the Seattle game, but it's Thursday night, so I can't watch that. got other plans. But yeah, let us know what you think, and make sure to check all our socials. Um, remember, February 27th, big trailer reveal, better commercial than Tubi commercial during the Super Bowl.
It's
And
not a
then
high bar, but
that's true. Spent a lot, big budget. We had a lot of fun making it, and I'm sure you're gonna have a lot of fun watching it. So that will be on Insta, Twitter, YouTube for the Apple Podcast people. YouTube people will be on YouTube, and that is it. Remember Instagram _podcast 20. Thank you for listening to Outsiders Opinions.